Imagine a world where everybody wins, where everybody is great, everybody is rich, and where everybody achieves their dream. Wouldn't that be great? Sadly, as we all know, nothing could be further from the truth. Not everyone can win at life. In fact, most people will fail. Here's why most people will not achieve their goals and why I believe that's a good thing. The brutal reality is that there are no participation trophies in real life. Life doesn't reward effort, it rewards results. We live in a world of competition, of struggle, of domination, survival of the fittest. Might makes right. Life will test all living things, some harder than others, but all must endure the gauntlet challenges dealt to them, or pay the price. It goes without saying, life doesn't care. The world doesn't owe you shit, and nobody is coming to save you. To the victors go the spoils. It seems in almost every area of life there exist hierarchies and disparities of all sorts. We often see in nature it's the dominant alpha male who claims mating rights, or an entire tribe of people led by a chief or council of some sort. If we look at our modern world, where the 1% have the most wealth, in businesses and sales where the top producers make the most sales, and the top 20% of men attract the most women, we see how it's always the few at the top who win while the rest must bottom feed off the scraps. Here's the thing. Let's take 100 people and say they want the same thing. Whether it's getting their dream job, starting a business, getting a high-level physique, 90% will likely fail. Of these 90 people, 70 will plan but never take any action. 15 will start, but will ultimately fall off once the initial excitement wears off or they don't see any results. And perhaps the 5 remaining will persist, but will only see limited progress. Perhaps there were simply better people who surpassed them. In the end, it's the 10 survivors who get to enjoy the fruits of their labors. And suddenly, they know everything it takes to win. Survivorship bias kicks in and, well, you know the rest. Lone survivors walking through a battlefield, the fallen surrounding them, those who tried and failed. This is the field where dreams die. So what's the point then? What's the point in trying when you're most likely going to fail anyway? Are you afraid to fail? Here's my answer. You just have to want it bad enough. You'll know real quick if your heart is truly in it, because if not, then you'll quit as soon as things get hard. And there's nothing wrong with that. I myself tried and quit and failed many things. Perhaps I could have been successful if I was willing to bleed for it. But I was pursuing that goal for all the wrong reasons. Once I found the things I truly cared about, well, it didn't matter to me how much I sucked in the beginning or how long it took to see results. I persisted because to me it wasn't simply a goal. It had become my identity. And you know what? Eventually, I started seeing results. Most successful people have a few things in common. First, they have a delusional level of self-belief. They don't care what others think of them, nor do they let themselves be influenced by naysayers. They are not risk-averse. They are willing to bet on themselves. They say no to distractions and put their purpose over pleasure. They have the persistence to see things through and show up even when things seem hopeless, and they have nothing to show for it. Many had to fail and fail and fail again many times before their breakthrough. Can you get lucky and see instant success? Perhaps, but that's the exception, not the rule. Perhaps some people will not live long enough to see results, or their work simply isn't appreciated in their time. Only later after they died did people finally recognize them. But you won't get anywhere if you don't try. And frankly, I would rather try something and have a 10% chance of succeeding than not try, because then my chances are zero. Also, I'm human. You're human. We're all human. You know, the most dangerous species on the planet. We who conquered almost every continent, traveled to the moon and the bottom of the ocean. We who built all the buildings and infrastructure that keep our societies running. We who fought wars, conquered nations, reached new scientific breakthroughs. Our world is built from the labors of those who came before. Did they quit when things got hard? When things seemed scary or uncertain? We humans were built to struggle and survive, but also to explore, to grow, to push boundaries and test limits, and to reach new heights. We owe it to the ambitious few, to the winners, to the ones who didn't quit when things got hard. People have conquered nations and explored new lands, and you can't even conquer yourself or find the motivation to start that project you've been waiting on? Wake up. Nothing is given. It must be taken. Most people will fail because we can't all be great. If we're all great, then no one is. Life rewards those who come out on top. Even if I don't win, I at least want to give myself a chance to honor myself, to honor my ancestors and my entire bloodline. I want to give myself a chance to make a name for myself and claw my way out of the pit of mediocrity. Those who aren't willing to try the same, to try to bend life to their will, they should move aside and make room for others. So there it is. The ugly truth. Most will fail. Most will fail because they're prisoners in their own minds. Their hands are tied. They won't even start because they're afraid to. They'll end up choosing comfort over the freedom of owning themselves. That detestable job, that toxic partner, that fragile shell of an identity. Now, for those who do try, they face an uphill battle, and they will be tested. Only the best will survive. But such is life. At least they show up, though.